A high-angle shot is when the camera is held up high, looking down at the subject. In horror films, this is typically used to look down upon the victims when they are being attacked or are tormented by the evil in some way. This makes the character appear weak and vulnerable, causing the audience to feel empathy towards them. Close-up shots are when the subject is the only thing that can be seen in the frame, where all the focus is on it. In horror, this shot often allows the character's reaction to the horror to be shown effectively, as well as making them seem isolated and trapped, as if they have no way to get away from the evil. Tracking shots are when the camera follows the subject on a track, and a pan shot is when the camera moves from one side to the other, again often following the main subject's movements. In horror films, this is often used on the victims, making it seem as if they are being watched or followed. It can also be used to establish the setting, which can play a big part in the horror. Canted angle shots are when the camera is held at an odd angle, which can often portray on screen as if the shot was taken suddenly, and perhaps as if the camera is being pushed and moved around. It suggests panic and drama behind the shot. Establishing shots are used to set the scene by showing the setting and atmosphere at the beginning of the scene, often hinting at the type of scene it's going to be. This can work well in horror films, as the setting and atmosphere can impact the horror of the situation greatly, setting a creepy mood to put the audience on edge. Low-angle shots are when the camera is held below looking up at the subject. This is often used in conjunction with high-angle shots, using shot-reverse shot between the victim with a high angle and the villain with a low angle. This is because it gives the villain more power and dominance over the shot. Looking down at the audience makes them more intimidating, often putting the audience into the position of the victim character, creating an emotional reaction. Found footage means that the camera was held by one of the characters and filmed all from their point of view. This installs a sense of reality, involving the audience more emotionally and physically, as they are seeing exactly what the victim characters are seeing. This style of shot can also make the audience uncomfortable, because it limits their view, often because of the rocky canted shots, which can make the whole thing more scary. Point of view shots are when the camera is placed in the eye line of the character, showing exactly what they see from their position. As this puts the audience in the place, it can evoke an emotive response, perhaps empathy for the victims or disturbed from being behind the eyes of a villain. Crab shots are often used with point of view shots, as they are when the shot is taken from inside or behind something that partially obstructs the view for the audience. In horror films, this is used often, either when the victims are hiding or trapped, or from the villain's view when they stalk their prey from behind bushes and such. Zooms are when the lens of the camera is focused into on a smaller area, bringing the audience's attention to this point. Zooms can be used in horror films to build the drama and suspense, perhaps leading into a jump scare. Because the audience have no control over what is being zoomed in on, it can often leave them feeling controlled and forced. Over-the-shoulder shots are when the camera is placed behind one subject or character to view what is in front of them. In horror films, this is used to build tension, often through shots of the victim character looking into a mirror, so the audience is seeing exactly what they are seeing. Then the jump scare of the villain appearing behind them, and therefore the audience too, as they are positioned with the victim.